show lined up for you. We're going to be doing some little bit of lode mining. I want to show you how that gold can be locked up in what they call the mother lode, and there's gold inside the rock. There's free milling gold, and there's gold locked up in sulfides and different ways that the gold's trapped inside the rock, and then it gets liberated from the rock and gets out here what we call placer gold. And I'll show you the difference on today's show. I've got this old mine right here, this old busted down, burned up place. They got this concrete. Now this concrete's a giveaway. I'm reckoning it's probably from the 30s. Depression miners out here digging these holes. Go around over here, I'll show you a little bit more. They had quite a thing built up here. I think they had a mill site out here, and it's all just caved in and come apart out here. Birds been digging holes back up in here and just eroding away and getting lost. But my metal detector, I've been having trouble because I get a lot of what they call trash signals. You know, stuff like that. But I got my discrimination mode on real good, so I'm discriminating out against a lot of that stuff. I'll talk to you more about my metal detecting. We're going to do a little class on that a little bit later on, but we're going to see if we can sneak back inside this old mine and take a peek back in there first. Now, these mines are dangerous, folks. Got to be careful when you go back inside them. Now, who knows what's waiting for us back there, but I got too much curiosity. Got to go see, you know. But there are things to look out for. First of all, if you can keep yourself from not going back in there, that's the safest thing. Just don't go back in these old mines. But if you're going to go back in, you got to take a look at the porthole. And this one right here, you've got some cracks right up there. You see those cracks? That stuff, when it gives way, it comes down all of a sudden. But I'm figuring this stuff's pretty safe right now because this is what they call the caliche. Out here in the desert, they get this stuff that's just hard pack, and as you start digging in it, as you dig back into this stuff, it loosens up, and then it can get real dangerous because it's loose. But when it's exposed to the air sucks the moisture out of it and dries up almost like an adobe and gets real hard. So it's pretty safe back in there, I'm reckoning. But we'll keep an eye out as we go back in, and always scan the top, looking for areas where it's caved in before or where it could start caving in again. I'm going to mosey on back in here, and we'll bring you along with us. Boy, you got to keep an eye out for bats back in here. But boy, this looks like some pretty good gravel material now. This was hand dug. Some of this stuff is still pretty loose. Come down on you pretty good and quick. You gotta keep an eye out for sidewinders and scorpions, and I hate bats whenever you come back inside these things, and they like to hang right around the front. That's where they like it, where they can get in and out. Bats sometimes are a little farther back in, but them snakes and stuff, they come back in here and hibernate up. You can run into a whole bunch of them back in here sometimes. It's always good to go real cautious and take it easy. Now it looks like there's something going up here. Oh boy. What I like to do too is in the mines is work my metal detector on the sides, because sometimes your gold can get mixed back in there, and they're digging this stuff out and processing it. But this stuff here is still yet to be dug. You can pick up something sometimes real close on the sides. Down here, you got a lot of trash targets and stuff, and it's hard to get a signal. Let's keep on moving back in this way. Boy, this goes up here. I can see daylight out that way. This goes all the way through the hillside here, all the way back in. There's a tin can, another tin can, old rusty can. What's that say on there? bits of green beans. Green beans. I like working these sidewalls. Then you don't run into much of that trash. This has been on fire back in here, something. Or this black stuff. That's interesting stuff. There's all this loose gravel back up in here. This goes up here a ways. Hey, it's time to get the old flashlight out. Well, be something up there. Somebody stuck something up there. Boy, that stuff is loose. Get hit in the head back here. Looks like part of their door or something. That's a big chunk of metal. Sounds off pretty good. Man, I don't know about that stuff. That's pretty loose. Man, that is loose. I think we better head on out of here. I can see daylight. I'm going to make a run for it underneath this spot. Oh, man. It's like some kind of spooky, scary house or something back in there. There's tunnels that go different ways back up underneath there. They did is they found themselves a lair and started drifting around underneath this stuff instead of moving all this overburden off out of the way. And they looks like they've built up themselves some kind of living quarters out here. I want to talk to you some about my metal detector. I'm using this is a Tesoro Sidewinder, and it's a little one, but don't let the size fool you. It's Sidewinder because we're out here in the desert where there's rattlesnakes. But it's metal detecting's a lot of fun. On here you got your sensitivity. You got your discrimination level knob. You got a toggle switch here, your discriminator, all metals, and retune. And you got your pinpoint over here. You got 4 buttons on here, not like the old ones where you had 16 and 3 or 4 different dials and the knobs. It's real simple, pretty easy to operate. Now, your sensitivity works, this switch here works as an on-off switch. And it also works like a gas pedal. When you increase this sensitivity, it starts picking up more and more, sending out a more in-depth signal, and it gets real sensitive to all the metals. Now, the reason why you'd want to back off on that is in highly mineralized areas or places like around here where I've got a lot of old tin cans and barbed wire and things like that that I'm trying to discriminate out. Now, that brings me to the discrimination level. When you're running in all metals level, the mode down here, well, all metals, that turns all your discrimination off. And that's best for when you're trying to look for gold, is to take all the discriminating out. Discriminating helps you because, well, right here, let me show you. I got some baling wire down here. Now you hear that sound when it goes across that baling wire? It's like it wants to sound off, but it just can't quite get it. And over here, there's a bolt. Now that's more of a piece of metal, and that bolt, see how it's starting to get a better signal out of that bolt because there's more of the metal there, and it's a harder metal. This, you hardly get anything. And after a while, you get to know those sounds, and you can tell when you're hitting a good target or when you're hitting one of these not so good targets. See, that's sounding off real good. That's a harder type metal. That's be something you'd find. These cans go off real good. There's a bullet. That goes off pretty good. But most of your barbed wire, your tin foil, your lighter metals and things like that won't sound off. So that's where your discrimination mode works real well. But I like to get out in places and detect in areas where, well, there's a signal there. Oh, it's a nail. Got these nails coming through here where you don't have a lot of areas where you could possibly have trash. I'm getting a signal here. Oh, it's another nail. Oh, this is full of nails. But that's you know, metal detecting, when I first started out, it was pretty difficult because, boy, you had a lot of ground balancing to do, and a lot of different knobs and things on there to fiddle with, and you had to pretty much be a rocket scientist to figure out those metal detectors back 15, 20 years ago. But nowadays, they're getting them down where they're pretty easy and pretty simple. Now, this one here, you know, it goes pretty deep. There's ones that are more expensive that go deeper, but the reason why I like it is it's so simple to use. It's a treasure hunting metal detector. It's not specifically designed for gold, but it's really lightweight and real simple. This collapses up, and you can throw it on the four-wheeler and head out, and it's real durable. These make really good prospecting tools. I was looking around at this, and there's a hole going back up underneath here. Another one over there, and I don't know why. Oh, man. Can you see back up in there? That's most of the time when I'm metal detecting, I see things because I'm looking around. But that's all full of hornets back in there. That's a wasp nest. There's some junk back in here. Let's take a look with the flashlight. Oh, that goes way back in there. That's full of them wasps. And man, hey. Crushed up cans. I think this was their refrigerator or something. But back in here, oh, old bottles. And man, hey. That's a good one. That one's not busted. It's got a little chip out of it, but that's an old bottle. These are nice. A lot of times these old bottles, and this one's a hand-blown one. Oh, I want to... Oh, that's spooky back in there. There's some more. That might be worth digging out. Here's another old bottle. I found me something here, folks. I found me something. There's a couple of nice old bottles. It's got a number 10 on the bottom there. But that's a cork top bottle. I don't know how much these are worth. We'll have to get out the books and take a look, but that's something nice. Well, we did find something here besides a bunch of cans and pieces of metal and baling wire and all sorts of things. This is a whole bunch of desert out here. We're going to go and see if we can find some other stuff. I know some other old places to do some metal detecting around, and we'll see what we can find. Having fun out here. We'll be back after these messages. Go, go, pee, ba, 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 go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Mesa, Arizona.
Several of the dry washers were interested in that.
A couple of nice detectors.
It was a good deal or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona, February 4th and 5th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Naturally, you're able to get the big nuggets out of your gold pan, but what about all that small stuff? If you're like most prospectors, you have pounds and pounds of black sand concentrates just waiting to be stripped of their fine gold. Here's the quick and easy way of getting the job done. Tom and Perry's Deluxe Cleanup Kit. It includes the one and only water-driven mini sluice, our tried and true 14-inch Gold Catcher gold pan, a 10-inch concentrate pan, 2 gold snuffer bottles, a 20-mesh concentrate sifter, and a black sands magnet to lift the magnetite away from all your fine gold. Plus, you'll receive the must-have mini cleanup kit, which consists of a vial, gold tweezers, and a pouch for small pickers and fine gold. But here's the best part, the all-important step-by-step black sands video to lead you through the simple process of working your fine gold out of your black sands. This product will easily pay for itself in a few uses. It's the fun way to prospect right in your own backyard. Call now to get your deluxe cleanup kit, $39.95 plus shipping and handling while supplies last.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Fort Worth, Texas.
I think they're pretty good prices.
You can go in very inexpensively and become a prospector.
It's a great selection. I'm looking for nuggets mostly.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, February 11th and 12th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Go, 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 go. Here's another interesting hole. Mark Twain once wrote that a gold miner, a definition of them is a liar with a hole in the ground. Well, here's a hole in the ground. Somebody was pretty hardy to dig this one out, but this one here is a little bit more dangerous than the ones we were in there before. You can see these rocks here, these big round rocks. You can see indentations here where the rocks have fallen out and come down here. These rocks are round. They've been washed by water action. Even though we're out here in the desert and ain't water for miles around, at one time there was a lake or old tertiary riverbed that washed these rocks in here and deposited what they call placer gold. That's gold that's been liberated from the lode. And this mine right here is pretty curious, but I don't think we'll take a look back in there. Get a lot of rain up here in the winter time, and then this stuff gets kind of soft, and boy, when this thing comes down, it could come down. There's another part of the shaft around over here we could take a look at. Looks like they got part of an old refrigerator here people been shooting holes in. These things are, you ever see old refrigerators or old boxes or things around these mines? You got to be real careful, because a lot of times the old timers and miners out here, they'll put their dynamite in there to keep it safe. And then if it gets left in there, it gets old and that nitroglycerin comes out of it. And I've come across a few of these in my time, and then it can really be dangerous. So keep a mindful eye out for them. I don't think I should get too far underneath this thing. You can see how this just overhangs here, and you can see it's been piled up here, and it's been just dropping down through the years. And you can see the cracks in it here where it's all fractured, and that makes this a little bit dangerous here at the opening. I think this one we'll just have to be content with looking back down in there. I don't really feel it's worth going back underneath such a bad overhang here. And then this is all, you know, gravel material. You can see the contact running right through here is like an old clay layer, and then a smaller pea-sized gravel, and then the larger rocks on top. Different times when these were deposited in here, probably be some pretty good metal detecting back in there, but I don't think I'll poke around in this one. But I do know some that we can go poke around back inside and back farther out in the hills here, so let's take a jaunt over there to those other mines. Well, here's another old interesting mine. This one here looks pretty good. See these smaller size rock on here makes it nice and tight. So I feel more comfortable about going back inside this one. This here, interesting because it doesn't look like this was the primary shaft they dug back here. You can see up top there's a tailing pile, so they probably had a head frame coming down in. It's always interesting to go back inside these old mines, but I guess I'm going to sound like a broken record, but don't do as I do, don't do as I say, and don't go back in these old mines because they're dangerous. I wish I had my hard hat with me right now, but I don't. It's always a good idea to have that, but I do got my metal detector, and let's go back in here and take a peek. Always got to be careful right around the openings. And them creepy crawlers, this is where them snakes like to come back in and den up, and bats like to come back up here and nest in the good and dark areas. Looks like they had drove a hole going up for a stove they had set back in here. It's always a pretty good idea not to be real loud back in here, because you start getting them vibrations and this stuff just sits here, and then you come back in here and start being loud. That vibration just enough to cut them babies loose. Not good to scream and yell. Let's work our way on back here. Looks like we got a shaft going down. Now this hole goes quite a ways down there. If you could kind of come maybe a little bit closer there, camera person. It's kind of spooky. There's some timbers down in there. They had a head frame up here in the shaft, and they were driving down here, and I suspect if you was to go down there, you'd hit another level, and they'd follow that level out where the good pay is down below there. It cuts across over here, but I ain't gonna play Indiana Jones and try and run and jump across there. That's a little bit. I probably could make it, but I don't think if I didn't make it, I wouldn't want to go down in there. You get down in there, you probably have a hard time getting back out. But you could see right over here on the wall, there's a contact zone that runs through here, and the gold, it has a tendency to get right in the side of these hard rocks here, this hard caliche, and ride right on down, and somewhere down there, I'll bet you there's getting real good gold. This top stuff up here probably don't contain a whole lot of good color, but down there, I'll bet you that's where they hit that layer and tunneled back on it and brought it up right from here. Pretty smart, them old-timers, but pretty gutsy, too. Let's head out of here, and we'll go take a look back at some other old mines.
Don't fall in.
This is a big one. I can tell by the size of the tailing pile outside that this is a pretty good sized mine. This is going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I could see here somebody else been back in here doing a little metal detecting at this particular place. It's solidified pretty good. Looks like it goes up here quite a ways. Oh boy. Oh. That goes way on up there. It's a pretty good sized mine. What I like about this particular mine is it's got some pretty good sized boulders in it. See some of these larger sized rocks. A lot of times where you find big boulders, you find big gold. It's got all that hard pack in there, this round washed river rock back in here. And it's got some of this white caliche mixed in with it. Real good looking stuff. Now I'm going to do some metal detecting back in here. And I'm going to switch my metal detector over. Now I was running in the discrimination mode there earlier because we had all that trash. But back in here, we ain't going to find nothing but good signals. So I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to take it off discrimination mode. I'm going to go to all metals mode. And then I'm going to run my discriminating level up. And I'm going to run my sensitivity level up. Now I'm all tuned up here. I got my levels all adjusted so that I ain't going to have any trash back in here. And I am going to start working these walls back in here, up and down, and start doing some detecting. I noticed there's some people back in here before, but I'll see how I do, see what my luck is, and we'll explore some more areas of this mine. We got to take a commercial break, and we'll be back after the messages. Got to do a little business. But, you know, a lot of people ask me, just before we go to the break, a lot of people ask me about metal detectors. What's the best metal detector to get? And they're all good. They make ones, you know, specifically for gold. Fisher, White's, Garrett, Tesoro, Mine Lab, Bounty Hunter. Just a good list of metal detectors. They're all good quality. And, you know, the technology has just been leaps and bounds of what those old metal detectors used to be back in the 70s and early 80s. They've gotten them right down to a science, and they can go deep, and they can go cover more area, find smaller pieces of gold. A lot of people have a problem. They say, well, my metal detector just gets squealy on me. It squeaks all the time. I get that question a lot. Well, that has to do with your sensitivity and your discrimination mode. It's like a gas pedal. When you crank those up, it really starts finding all them hot rocks and getting into that small particles of gold. So when you're first starting out metal detecting, back those discrimination modes off, back those sensitivity modes off, and then slowly start working them up, depending on what type of ground you're in. Well, this lantern's getting kind of hot on my hand, so I guess we'll go to that commercial break. But we'll be back. We're going to do some checking out back in here.
Think you can't get high-speed internet at your house? Feel like you're stuck with dial-up internet? Think again. Directway is high-speed internet by satellite, a super-fast instant connection that's available anywhere in the continental U.S. All you need is a clear view of the southern sky. Directway works with your PC or Mac for faster connections, faster downloads, faster surf speeds, faster everything. There's no software to install, and Directway doesn't use a phone line, so no more dialing in, no more missed calls, No need to spring for that extra line. People, it's time you get the high-speed option you really want. Call 1-866-GET-D-WAY or visit getdway.com and get DirectWay at your house. It's a no-brainer. DirectWay, the super fast instant internet connection that doesn't use a phone line or care where you live. Free yourself. Get DirectWay. Call 1-866-GET-D-WAY or visit getdway.com now and get high-speed satellite internet. The choice is yours, and you deserve it.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Fort Worth, Texas.
I think they're pretty good prices.
You can go in very inexpensively and become a prospector.
It's a great selection. I'm looking for nuggets mostly.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, February 11th and 12th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more. It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Mesa, Arizona.
Several of the dry washers were interested in that.
A couple of nice detectors.
It was a good deal or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona, February 4th and 5th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Go, go, pee, bye, 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 go, 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 go. Boy, this is a big one. We're been working our way back in here. We're, I don't know, probably 700-800 feet back underneath here. And I'm coming still across washed river rock. This is pretty deep down in here. And I'm just working my metal detector. I haven't got a signal one at all back here. But we're working on it. I don't know how far this goes back in. There's a lot of different tunnels that shoot off from it. This was a poor man's mine. I could tell by the size of it because there's not a lot of headroom, and I'm a pretty big guy, so pretty difficult getting back in and around here. I'm working my way. Just looking, it's hard to work the whole thing. I don't have enough time while we're out here to work it all, but I just look for particular spots, you know, where you got larger rocks to hit, where you might have quartz laying in here, areas where you got bigger rocks. Underneath those bigger rocks are good places to run your metal detector. But we'll just keep working our way, working on back down underground. Man, there's all kinds of these shafts going every which way back in here. This one gets pretty dang tight back in there. I don't know. This looks like right down towards the end. Yeah, I think it is. We've reached the end. Right down the bottom. This is right up down to the end here. And boy, is this ever tight. Man, look at that. I don't know if you can get in here tight enough to see this, but right back up in here, this is just one of the many tunnels that tunnels off in here. And right back up in here looks like almost like bedrock. It's a nice solid rock, and you can see the contact zone right here. That's just like a sand layer back in here. Just real small sand sitting right on top. Wherever you get those contact zones, where that bedrock sits, you need something hard and solid to stop the gold. It'll work right through this loose sand when it's aerating in here, when it was put in there, but it won't go through that bedrock back in here. And this is real tight. But I like the looks of that. It worked back in here. Man, oh man. Man, look at that. I'm getting a signal right off the bat off that stuff. Oh man, how the heck I get that back down in there? Get to it. Well, let's try and pinpoint it. Right up in there. Oh, dang. Well, let's use our metal detector. It says there's something in there. Maybe I got me something. Boy, them nuggets, I need to get me a gold. Hey, 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 hey! Look at that. Look at that. That's what you're looking for. That's a nice sized nugget right there. That is a nice nugget. See, it's kind of dirty. It don't look real bright. Let me get it over here in the light. It don't look real bright. Oh, my metal detector's sounding off there. See how it's nice and coarse? But you put a little vinegar or something on that, and it'll brighten it right up. What the heck am I going to do with this? Now, I'll just put it in my pocket. That ain't big enough. Well, there's one. There's always more, folks. Boy, that one sounded off real nice. Well, I'm not getting any more indications. Let me run my gas pedal up a little bit more. Man, is this fun or what? This is fun. Boy, you know, I'm getting a faint little signal right there. Might be a small piece. Let me get up there. Look, it's laying right there on that bedrock. Can you see that bedrock up in there? Oh, man. This is something. Look at that bedrock. Oh, yeah. That's what she sounded off on. It's laying right there on the surface. This baby's got gold back up in here, folks. This has got some gold. Well, this is going to warrant a little bit more work. But I tell you what, this lantern, oh, this lantern's sucking up all my air back. Oh, I'm going to get choked out. I'm going to have to make a break for the suit before I pass out. This is sucking all my air up. I'm going to come back with some flashlights or something. But I found another piece of gold. Well, we'll put that with our bottles, stuff we're collecting up out here. But I think I'm going to get me a 5-gallon bucket and a bigger shovel and come back in here and do a little bit more digging. But I got to get me some air right now. And I think we're going to find us some flashlights and maybe put some ventilation in here before I choke out. Let's get out of here. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, Man, I tell you, the gold's worth a lot. This air we take for granted, but I tell you, when you don't have much air, it sure tastes good when you get out here and get some of it. Whew, that fresh air is nice. I gotta come up with something else besides this lantern. I brought this lantern back in there because it puts out a lot of light in the camera. You guys can see back in there pretty good. You can set it down and work pretty well, but when you get real cramped in there, it sucks up the air. Whew, but I brought them 2 pieces of the yellow stuff out. 2 chunks. Those are mighty nice. Earth's giving up some of her treasure. I gotta get back in there and figure out a way to get some air back in there. Man. Whew. Whew. But we gotta do a little more business, take a commercial break. If we come back, I'm going to tell you how you can get started in gold prospecting if you're just greenhorn, I guess they call them, or Chaco, or starting out. It's a lot of fun, man. Tell you a little treasure like that, hey, them are trophies, man. I ain't ever going to sell those, or them probably $200, $300 nuggets right there. Earth's giving up. That's nice. When we come back, we'll talk some more about prospecting. Go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go, 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 go.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Fort Worth, Texas.
I think they're pretty good prices.
You can go in very inexpensively and become a prospector.
It's a great selection. I'm looking for nuggets mostly.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, February 11th and 12th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Hi, I'm Joel Petrowski, and I'm a member of the Gold Prospectors Association of America. And you can be a member also. First off, you'll get the Gold Catcher Gold Pan. It's got these riffles which catch all the gold so you don't lose any of it. You also get the snuffer bottle, which is good for getting that fine gold. Surefire panning techniques. After watching this tape, you'll know how to pan for gold. The Mining Guide. It's got everything you need to know about every claim, how to get there. These claims are exclusive for GPAA members only. And it's also available on CD-ROM. You're going to get a subscription to the Pick and Shovel Gazette, which updates your mining guide. You're going to get membership decals and patches, a GPAA hat, Gold Prospector magazine, which is loaded with articles on how-to, places where you can find gold, and outdoor adventures. So call that 1-800 number, join the GPAA, and you'll be glad you did.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Mesa, Arizona.
Several of the dry washers were interested in that.
A couple of nice detectors.
It was a good deal or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona, February 4th and 5th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go, 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 go. Well, welcome back. I've come to this place. This ain't a mine. It's more like a cave. Looks like they dug this thing out so they could have a place to get in and out of the wind and the weather. Maybe to cool off in the summertime and warm up in the wintertime. Interesting place. Dug out here by the old timers. There's just mines all over the place out here. All kinds. There's probably some ain't been nobody back in a long time. I get some rocks falling down in on me over there. But this, I won't say it again, you know, it's not recommended to go out there in them holes in the ground. Them dangerous, easy to cave in on you. I've been doing it all my life. I always look at the entrance and keep a mindful eye of what's around and what's back down in there. It's a real dangerous thing, and I sure don't recommend it out there, anybody, going back in those holes down under the ground. You got to be real careful if you do decide to go back in there. A lot of things to think about. But a lot of fun out here prospecting. This is, again, you know, this what we've been doing today is we've been going back in on placer deposits. That's different than the lode deposits. The lode is underground, but it's out of the hard, solid rock where the gold's been shot in there, typically with quartz, a lot of times, sometimes with other stuff. But this is round wash river rock we've been digging around in today. A lot of people pronounce it placer, but it's not placer, it's placer gold. And that's gold that's been liberated from the rock. See, many years ago, this was what I suspicioned out here. They had a giant lake bed, and there was different times when the shores were concentrating that gold at different levels. Maybe even it was the ocean was up in here, and it deposited the gold and concentrated in these pockets around. So that's why you don't see mines just everywhere. It's concentrated in certain spots, and a lot of times the old-timers, they'd tunnel back down under there, and they'd get down there, and then they'd drift out on underneath the ground like that and just get the high grade. They'd be out there high grading and just getting the, I like to call it the good stuff, that high material that's got the large concentrates of the gold, and then not messing with the stuff that ain't got gold in it. And that's a lot of the trick to mining, is eliminating in a lot of places not to look and concentrating on those places to look. Now, I've looked in a lot of spots where gold's missed a really good spot to hide. Should have been there. But you just stick with it, and you stick with your prospect. And I have so many people that say, man, I wish I would have known now what I did 15 years ago when I was hunting up in Montana, and we were at this place, there was all this exposed bedrock that you talk about, Tom, and man, I bet you there was gold in there, but I wasn't thinking gold. I had no idea about gold. And now I'm thinking about it, boy, I missed out. And a lot of people, that once they get that gold fever and they get that bug, they're really blessed, because it gives you a passion. When you're out here in the deserts or in the hills or in the mountains or way up north or way down south, you're always thinking about gold, and it's out there, folks. You want to join up to the Gold Prospectors Association, that's the best way to get started. If you are a prospector and you're not a member of the Gold Prospectors Association, you should be, because they're the only ones out there. They're fighting for your rights to stay out there on public land and to keep the 1872 mining laws. You know, our founding forefathers, they put together that 1872 mining laws to give the prospector a chance to get out here, open up the West, make it fair play for the guys out there looking for the gold. And they've been wanting to change it, and there's been legislation coming down the pike, and guys out here chicken scratching around in the ground looking for gold with picks and shovels. They ain't hurting the environment. They're just getting some exercise, enjoying the outdoors, and having a lot of fun. You know, the mining regulations in this country are some of the strongest, or are the strongest anywhere. And it's regulated really good in this country. A lot of the big mining outfits, but a lot of times us prospectors, we get grouped in with those big mining outfits when they come down the pike with their new laws and stuff, and we're always constantly fighting, and GPAA's your voice out there. That's a good reason to join up to the association, a real good reason. But that's not the only reason. When you sign up, you get a kit. It comes to you in a box like this. It comes to your door. We show you just everything that you get. You get a ball cap for your hat, nice GPAA ball cap. You get a video and a gold pan. Now, this is some of the basic tools that you need. They use these gold pans in the large operations all the way down to just sampling. This is one of those trap pans. It's got the gravity traps in here. It's green in color, makes it easy for seeing the gold. It's got the nice round, wide bottom. This pan's best pan for the expert and a good pan for the beginner. This is a Surefire Panning Methods video. Once you view this video and you use this gold pan, the experts on this tape, after doing this, you'll know how to gold pan, and that's an important thing. That's why we include that in the kit. They include a snuffer bottle. Now, back years ago, you had to have an old-timer to teach you all these tricks and ticks and all the specialties of the trade. But nowadays, we got all this information out here in the GPAA and show you how to do it real easy. Use your snuffer bottle for sucking up that gold. They include that in there. The whole idea is to give you a good chance of finding gold when you go out there. And if you find gold when you go out there and you pay for your special, your first or second time out there, you're going to be a member for life. And that's what the GPAA is all about, is keeping you in the fold, helping you find gold out there, and having a voice out there. Now, you also get a subscription to the Pick and Shovel. That's this subscription. This is the Gold Prospector magazine. You get a bunch of subscriptions. I like this magazine because it's got all kinds of good pictures of gold, tells you stories about who found gold where, and just information in here. There's a nice nugget right here. Just stories on where gold's being found, how it's being found, how to build your own equipment, tips and tricks of the trade. That's a great publication. You get a subscription to that. You get a subscription to the Pick and Shovel. I'll talk a little bit about that more. But this right here is the mining guide. Now this is full of all kinds of places to go. Let me just show you. What they do is they give you the section, township, range. They tell you what county it's in, how many acres it is, what topo map it's on. They give you directions on how to get out there. They tell you what to expect when you get out there. They lay it out on a USGS map for you so you can find it. And there's literally just hundreds of these places inside this guide. Now, they got places in Arizona, California, Maine, Oregon, Ohio, Georgia, all across the United States. There's gold spread out all over the place. And this program was put together. A lot of people said, well, I don't know where to go prospecting. I'd like to go out, but where do I go? Well, this gives you hundreds of different places to go prospecting. Chances are there's probably one real close to you. And that's a great program. And to have access to all those places and go out there anytime that you want and keep all the gold you find. Some of them, you know, you can camp on. Some of them you got a four-wheel drive into. Some of them you got to hike into. But they're all proven gold locations. You can't beat that, ladies. Exploring underground caverns and caves. Now, a lot of people get confused between a mine and a cave. They see a hole in the ground and think that's a cave. But mines are what prospectors and guys going back and toiling in Mother Earth and digging out those minerals have created. That's a mine. Now, a cave is something that Mother Nature has created out there, and there's some beautiful, splendid things that Mother Nature has put on this earth for us to view, and we're going to be looking at some of them today. So this is going to be a doozy show. Where I'm at right now is the site of the GPAA's Motherlode expedition deep down here in this canyon. And we've got a few dredges off in the rivers. The guys are working down in here, getting a lot of gold. It's a good gold trip on this particular week down here. We're going to be visiting with a few of the guys around here getting the gold, and we're going to be taking a jaunt back up into the hills here and finding some undiscovered caves. And we're also going to be taking a trip out to Moaning Caverns, a real kind of spooky, interesting place. So we got a big show lined up for you today. We're going to take a commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. We're going straight out to the Moaning Caverns, and before we do that, we're going to visit a few with the prospectors here at the Motherlode trip.
So what do you think of this Motherlode trip?
Oh, it's great. I've had a real nice time out here. First time out to Motherlode. Matter of fact, first time prospecting for me. I joined like CPAA like last January and been watching the program on the Outdoor Channel and enjoying all the episodes, and never thought it'd be this great. Come in here, one around the woods and enjoying the scenery. And we've had a black bear come into the camp the other night and scared it off. And one night we had a mountain lion across the river that was kind of making a little noise. So we've had a great time, and looking for gold, learning all kinds of different techniques, how to find it, how to dig it up. It's been a real learning experience for each and every one of us. Plus, food's been great. If you want to eat good, you get Don to do the cooking for you, and you won't go hungry. I guarantee you that. It's been real great.
The mother lode is an ideal place to learn how to dredge. The water's not deep. It's a little bit cold sometimes. But it's a good place to get the experience and learn how to do it. You can start on the 4-inch dredge and work up. The water's clear, and there's a lot of gold, a lot of rocks to move, though, a lot of rocks. I would encourage anyone that is interested in it to come here first, dredge, and then they'll get invited to Alaska as a crew member, and then you go up there and you've hit the mother lode for sure. The folks are wonderful. There are people from all over the country. We got some from Kentucky and Tennessee, West Virginia, Washington. Super nice people. They all have the same thing in common. They're after gold, and they're willing to share their experiences with you.
Well, we've seen how to look for gold. They've taught us how to dredge and pan and sluice. It's been a real learning experience. Enjoy it. Come all the way from Ohio, and there's not a whole lot of gold mining in Ohio. There's a few places you can look, but nothing like the mother lode, so it's been real enjoyable, and we've actually found gold. That's the best part of the whole trip, actually seeing what you find. And it's been great. Within 5-6 minutes when we first came here, they showed us gold in the gold pan. And it makes a believer out of you as soon as you see it for your own eyes.
Ken, what were you thinking when you first laid eyes on this piece?
I didn't believe it. I saw the yellow. I thought it was a piece of clay at first. And I was over here working, putting a screen back on the high banker. And I says, I'm not going to lose this wing nut to look at a piece of clay. I got that wing nut back on. Then I went over and picked it up, and it was just, so this is heavy.
So it just kind of caught your eye the first time?
3 or 4 times. I was busy, though. So I said, I'll check that when I'm done here.
And so it made it out into the tailing pile?
It had gone off the grizzly. And it was
so it was too big to go through the grizzly?
It was too big for the grizzly.
And then it was out in the tailing pile.
Right on top of the tailing pile.
And you picked it out of the tailing pile?
Right. But,
that'll make you,
dreams are made of.
That'll make you a believer, huh?
That's it. That bug just come up and bit again.
They're right there, huh? That's the bug. All right.
I could do that every day and not be upset.
Whoa! All right.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Oh, the barrel. Okay. Get back down. Hey, that's a missile launcher. Hey.
Rose between two.
Go, 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 go.
Go, go, pee, bye, 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 go, 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 pee, bye, 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 go.
Hi, I'm Joel Petrowski, and I'm a member of the Gold Prospectors Association of America. And you can be a member also. First off, you'll get the Gold Catcher Gold Pan. It's got these riffles which catch all the gold so you don't lose any of it. You also get the snuffer bottle, which is good for getting that fine gold. Surefire panning techniques. After watching this tape, you'll know how to pan for gold. The mining guide. It's got everything you need to know about every claim, how to get there. These claims are exclusive for GPAA members only. And it's also available on CD-ROM. You're going to get a subscription to the Pick and Shovel Gazette, which updates your mining guide. You're going to get membership decals and patches, a GPAA hat, Gold Prospector magazine, which is loaded with articles on how-to, places where you can find gold, and outdoor adventures. So call that 1-800 number, join the GPAA, and you'll be glad you did.
What are you setting your sights on? And when you see it, will you be ready? All you have to do is pick up the phone, call in your coordinates, dial 1-800-645-ARMY, and soon you'll have this free DVD in your hands. You'll learn about the hundreds of opportunities and rewards the Army can offer you. skills, education, healthcare.
Locking position.
And if you call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, you'll also get this free boonie hat. So don't hesitate, because whatever you're looking for in life, the U.S. Army can help you find it.
Target identified.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Mesa, Arizona.
Several of the dry washers were interested in that.
A couple of nice detectors.
It was a good deal or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona, February 4th and 5th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more. It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Fort Worth, Texas.
I think they're pretty good prices.
You can go in very inexpensively and become a prospector.
It's a great selection. I'm looking for nuggets mostly.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, February 11th and 12th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Go, 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 pee, bye, 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 go, 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 pee, bye, 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 go.
Well, Steve, why do they call this the moaning cavern?
What's right at your feet here? There's some holes down here. Water drips from here, particularly in the wintertime. And they're about 18 inches deep. They're shaped like wine bottles. In fact, we just heard one. When the water hits, it goes boom, boom, and that echoes through the cavern and sounds like a moan. And you could actually hear that outside. It wasn't very loud, but it did sound like someone was moaning down in the cavern.
So you think people came down here to try and help out?
That's a possibility. Of course, the Native Americans lived here for like 14,000 years, and some of them fell into the cavern. And in fact, there was a charcoal deposit right over here that was found that makes us believe that somebody survived the fall and that they threw firewood down and kept it going. And of course, the only way out would have been for them to climb this. We have no idea whether they succeeded or were rescued or not, but there were legends about people surviving down here, and that was the moan of their spirits and all these various things. But those were legends. A place like this creates lots of legends.
You think the caverns are haunted?
I don't think, no. There are people who do think that they were haunted, and it makes a great story, of course, but no, I've never, I haven't seen any spirits.
Some of the history of how we came about to do the tours here?
Basically, during the gold rush, people came up. They first found the entrance. They thought it was an abandoned Spanish gold mine. They were a little paranoid. They thought the Spanish had beat them to everything. But in fact, it's a natural cavern, and they lowered people down into here with what, little ways. Later on, the miners did come down. They did find some small deposits of gold, but it was just whatever could drift in from the surface. The streams on either side of the ridge here had nuggets as big as your fist, so they weren't wasting very much time down here. And they would lower people into here, whether they use a mule or a donkey to bring the line up and down. And so it was like a tourist attraction. Just lower them enough for them to go, no, 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 and they'd pull them back out again. Long way to the surface. And then in 1916, they built this spiral staircase in here. First arc-welded structure in the United States. And started taking tours, and it's been open ever since. Well, during the Second World War, it closed a little bit, but, everything did. And but we've been doing it continuously ever since. Mm-hmm. And many millions of people have gone through this cavern.
Can you tell us some about the rappelling
that people do in here?
Well, that was a Christmas party. We were discussing that there was no sense of adventure left in the United States, or that was a point somebody else was making. I said, that's nonsense. So they're just not allowed to do anything. So I said, I could hang a rope in Moaning Cavern, and people would want to come and do that. And they all went, nah, no way. So that January, I hung a rope in here, and we were doing the rappel ourselves, and a visitor, because it's slow time of the year, the visitor came in and said, gee, I'd like to do that. How much would that be? I went, gave him, I said, $10. I said, okay. And he was the first one to do the rappel, but paid to do it. And it was a big success. People love it. Probably, I would say 4 out of every 5 people in the world that have ever done a rappel in a cave did it here, worldwide. And that includes all the spelunkers and cave explorers and stuff.
Can you tell us some about this chamber and some of the different formations in here?
Well, they all form, of course, the original chamber was formed from hydrogen sulfide from volcanic activity dissolving away the rock on its way to the surface. It was like a large sponge work, but then as the water table drained out, that rock collapsed into the bottom, so there's 400 or 500 feet of cave below us. It's filled with this rubble. And then the dripping water, in the wintertime particularly, brings with it the dissolved limestone and makes the stalagmites and the stalactites. And the miners, of course, when they came in, they immediately started naming stuff. It seems to be something people like to do. This was the mushroom patch, because the Italians have this thing called a tree mushroom, and this is what they were used to. So this is the mushroom patch that we're standing on. Over there, they call that the Eskimo's house. I guess they hadn't used the word igloo by then, but the Eskimo's house became the igloo. And of course, the Capitol Dome, and you can pretty much look and see bacon and tacos and things to eat and ice cream cones, and they just go on and on. It's an imagination like when you look at clouds, you might see something, and this is what people do in caverns. Cavers do that too, because it helps them find their way back out of a complicated cave. They say, well, we came in, oh, I remember coming up, it looks like a camel's hump, so they will remember that. Or this one looks like Mickey Mouse, and that allows them, they have to run a string so they can find their way out. They can actually remember these little things that they've noticed, and it's actually very helpful. And right where this area here, of course, about 100 people actually fell to their deaths over the 13,000 years or so. It's about one every 130 years. You dig a hole in your backyard, you probably get somebody to fall in it at least once that often. And they are some of the oldest human remains in North America. From those, we've learned that there were several successions of different kinds of people, bone structure-wise and so forth. We're just beginning to unravel those things. Using carbon dating or uranium thorium dating, we can learn a lot about it. We can find out what they ate and their teeth and whatnot. So it's quite interesting. They're kind of like time machines. Not only are there human bones, but other kinds of animals and ground sloths. For instance, we found the ground sloths disappeared exactly the same time that the people first invaded this continent, because they were slow-moving and good eating. So they just sort of like disappeared. But you can discover a lot from caverns, because they're like time machines, like time capsules. Things fall in, there's no weathering, nothing changes, and you can't, and usually it isn't going to get bothered. And so you can learn a lot from it. The formations here have growth rings, like the growth rings of trees. You can count them back, and you can find when the ice ages occurred, when it was hot, when it was cold. There were periods when there was drought for hundreds of years. There were times when it didn't stop raining for hundreds of years. Just a lot of fascinating stuff in these little time capsules here.
Why do you think there was so many bones here?
Well, because you saw that funnel-shaped entrance, and if you were a kid, wouldn't that fascinate you? Maybe wouldn't you try and jump back and forth across it? Kids do stuff like that. And I suspect that just every 100 years or so, one of them did make it. I don't believe there was any mass burials or any of those kind of things. I think it was just like a sampling machine. Occasionally, whatever's on the surface falls in. And it looks like a lot, but it's over 13,000 years. That's not a lot. That's one per 130 years. That was like every 3 lifetimes or 4 lifetimes. So it's not a lot.
Have you ever had any scares underground?
Oh, yeah. all the time. That's why we go. Hopefully every trip, if it's successful, will be a little bit scary, you know. Yeah, you have always things where you know, the ropes are, when you're going, normally you would come down in here by rope, you go back up by rope. And, you know, there's lots of things that can go on. I've broken metatarsals, I've broken ankles, I've fractured my skull, I've dislocated my elbow. Yeah, I've had a few.
Falling.
Yeah, falls, yeah, basically. Or things falling on me, as the case may be. But I've never been permanently lost. Yet. But, and I've been on rescues of people, some who didn't survive. It can be a deadly sport if you're not really prepared. And so we don't really encourage people to go out and find caves on their own and go in and without someone who has some experience first. Later, when they become very experienced, of course, then they can do that sort of thing. Same way with mines. You know, some mines can be extremely deadly. There's one down on Diablo Mountain. You go down there at about 300 feet, and you die. It's full of carbon dioxide. Just walk right into it and drown. People do all the time. So there are, you know, you have to be careful. But adventure is what I think you know, makes life worth living. Looking good.
Go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go.
There's nothing quite like the sound of gold. I've been metal detecting for over 30 years, and I still get a thrill digging up an old coin, a beautiful ring, or my favorite, a gold nugget. The new White's metal detectors make it easy. They show you what's in the ground.
Take your first step to finding treasure. Call the number on your screen to get rush delivery of your White's metal detector catalog. Discover the treasure you walk on every day.
You could pay for your metal detector with just one find. It's a great hobby for the young and the young at heart.
Call now.
The thing is, everyone wants to save money on their car insurance. You asking if they want a free Geico quote's like asking if they want free pie and chips. Of course they want free pie and chips. It's pie with chips for free. But pie and chips, you can get them anywhere. Geico quotes, made from scratch, just for you. Only at geico.com.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I love using this now.
Sending pictures is so much easier.
Now, this really rocks.
What a difference Verizon Online DSL makes. Now, for as low as $14.95 a month, you'll get all that speed, so you can really enjoy your computer, camera, and tons of other stuff.
I click,
and I'm online right away. DSL is so fast. I can open and send photos with none of the hassles I had with dial-up.
I'm talking, she's surfing.
And shopping.
And shopping. I can get with a program and get music like the rest of the world.
It costs a lot less than most of those cable companies.
I'm paying $14.95 a month for my Verizon DSL.
That's less than what my slow dial-up cost.
Call 1-888-527-5275 to get Verizon Online DSL for as low as $14.95 a month. It's our lowest price ever. That's 1-888-527-5275 for the best value in broadband.
I can't believe I had dial-up for so long on this baby. Bye-bye, dial-up.
Go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go.
Well, welcome back. I was sitting here under the shade trees many years ago, back when I was about 20 years old, and my legs were vibrating. I was a lot better shape then, and I decided to go for a hike, and there was an old map up here on one of these trees that my dad had gotten, and it was from the 1850s, and it showed the old trails coming through here. It showed some of the ravines even before they had names on it, but there was this one spot, and on the map it said Crystal Cave. And I've never seen it on any other topo map or any other map of this area, any place except that old map. And I decided that I would head out of here and go take a look and see if I could find those caves. And lo and behold, when I headed out, I surprised myself, and I actually did find them. A little hole in the ground, and I went back in there and almost got lost and wound up maybe not finding my way out of there. But we're going to take a jaunt and head out the not too easy way. No way's too easy to get there and try and refine these old crystal caves. I gotta watch this metal detector sticking up. I forget about it and it'll jerk me backwards. Switch back around these trees right here. See that pine tree right up there?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we get up to it, we can get around there and maybe find a little shade. Take a little break. You know the name of that gulch over there, that one right there, Jerry?
Is that Wet Gulch?
Wet Gulch, yeah, that's it. That's Wet Gulch. Experimental Gulch. And another one over there. Well, I'm sure glad we're not hiking up that one right there.
You got that right.
That one's steep. Need a headband so the sweat don't come down in and sting your eyes. Boy, lots of these little bugs like this. I don't know why they like this hillside. It's so darn hot over here. But they do. Little bugs. See you later, buddy. They're all over the place. Well, we found us a nice spot up here to take a little bit of a break, but you could start to see how this limestone here has got all these different formations in it from the water way up here. All these neat little holes and stuff. And even right here you could see there's some marble. You could polish that up and put it on your kitchen floor. But this is a nice beautiful spot up here. Got a nice beautiful view. And to show you the cliff, I'm going to pick me up a rock here and give it a throw off the edge. Don't want to lose my balance.
Way down there.
I didn't even hear it hit.
No.
There's a long ways down, but we still got a ways to go. We're going to go up to that peak up there. I don't know, what do you think? We're halfway? Maybe more than halfway?
A little more than halfway, I guess.
But we're making it up, and we'll get on up there and let the view get even better. Don't break my stick.
Tom, I don't know if they can see this tree here, but that bush there, but that's the top of a tree.
Yeah.
And it looks like a bush from up here.
Well, that'd be the easy way to climb that tree if you want to jump off there and grab onto it.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I'll follow you.
You'd be right at the top. See, and then again, your weight would carry it, and kind of bend it over, and it'd bend you right down to the ground. You hop right off.
It'd be my luck. It would spring back up and catapult me clean over there where I don't want to be.
I think I'll try that on the way back.
Yeah, okay.
Use that as a way to get down.
I'll follow you. Look at that.
Ah, the great outdoors. Yodel-hee-hoo! Don't hear anything. But you could sure get a nice high vantage point for reading the river up here. You could see down through here how there's big gravel bars that opened up when it flooded back in 1996. Had a big flood through here. You can see where it gets tight. Now these areas where it's opened up, that's where it's dropping out some big gold. You can see the canyon pretty far from bank to bank, but it moves on down here, tightens up through these tight stretches, and then you can see these big rounding bends over here. On the inside of those bends, right down through there, that's textbook where gold's going to collect in those huge floods. You can see off down this way, it runs into the main fork and the dams down there. You can even see places when the water was high enough on the dam to make marks on the canyon walls. But this is up here, and we're starting to see lots of these formations in and around here, this limestone. And this is what gives you an indication that some places there's caves back underneath here. Now there's probably a cave back up underneath this hillside inside between here and there, but there's no entrance to it. And there's no way to tell unless you got some kind of seismic thing and look underneath the ground. I know there's a mine off over this way somewhere because I seen a cable that was stretched up here, and they were running the material down on the cable, so there's no tailing pile to see, but maybe someday we'll come across that trekking around here in the woods. How you getting along there, Jerry?
It's kind of rough on an old man.
You don't got too much farther to go to this spot, and then we got to cross this meadow, and then it's on farther up. But it sure is beautiful out here. That's one nice thing about Prospect. It takes you to nice, beautiful places. Reckon these are deer trails in here, Jerry?
I imagine all sorts of animals use this stuff up here. This is a nice level spot.
Man, if you was to light a match in this stuff, you'd just take right off, huh?
It wouldn't take long to get this whole hill going.
Now, don't you try to kiss me when we walk underneath the mistletoe.
Ah, mistletoe, huh? I'll hold myself back now.
It's just over this hill, I think. Pretty sure.
You said that last hill.
Well, it's got to be this hill.
We'd have a little trouble getting over that log.
You get your hatchet out, you chop it right out of the way. But it's all coming back to me now. I remember this real good, this log. What did I say? Only go under. Oh. Yep, I remember this log.
Yeah. All we got to do is get up there, huh? I'm too old for this stuff. I'm too old for this stuff.
You want a hand? This tree has had it. We've seen better days.
I'll have a fall on somebody, too.
Yeah, I'll fall right on us. You want to break my stick?
Can't break your snake stick.
Whew, we've been hiking quite a ways, but now we're down inside the gulch. And you can start to see places where the Chinese miners stacked all these rocks in here, diverted the water right through here. They were real meticulous and would stack their rocks like this. Starting to see places like this where openings are, but this one doesn't look like we can quite get inside, where you got the limestone caverns going back in there. But I'm having a hard time remembering exactly where they're at, but I know it's on this side of the gulch someplace, so we'll just keep walking down and maybe have to go back up to find that entrance. We'll keep hiking.
Get in there. But maybe there's another rope.
Right there?
Oh, right up here.
Whew, thought I'd never find it. But this looks like it's it. I'll tell you one thing, Jerry, I'm going to do. I'm going to take this backpack off because this metal detector's been hitting branches all day and knocking me over. But I want to show everybody what's in my pack. I have this little twisty thing here to keep my metal detector from falling out. I got it along in case we find any tertiary stream bed material in there. There's a lot of places up and down this gulch I wouldn't mind detecting. But we're starting to run out of time, and I got a feeling we're going to be going back in the dark. You know, gold metal detector.
There's some nice looking spots right down in there.
I brought a flashlight. You got lanterns in there? You got both lanterns?
Mm-hmm.
I want to show everybody what we're using. Because the last time I went underground for a long time, I took a pump-up lantern, and I wound up breaking the mantles on it, and the lights went out on me. And we don't want to be back in there and have no light. That's no good. But this is an electric lantern. We got another big electric lantern. It'll throw off some light. Now, the reason why we're going to be using electric lights down in there is if we use our gas lights, this is different than a mine shaft. This is a cave. This is what Mother Nature made. And if we go back in there with gasoline-powered lights, the fumes will stay inside there and they'll colorize the wall. And we want to keep this pristine, and it's been here for many, many, many years, and it'll be here many, many, many years after we're gone, and maybe 10, 15 generations later somebody will discover this place and come back in here, and maybe they'll find maybe just a few of our footsteps, but they won't find where we colorized the wall with our gas lanterns. I got my gold pan in case we find some material, but I'm going to leave my backpack out here. But I'm going to use my stick here at the opening. Now, the reason why I got this stick is it's kind of flimsy, and I think I already almost broke it a few times hiking up here, but rattlesnakes like to den up in and around here, and I know they like this gulch up through here. I found quite a few of them before, and I'm going to rattle this around in there when we first start in here. Maybe I could stir them up before we get to them. What do you reckon?
Sounds good to me.
Feet first or head first?
Any way you want to do it.
I'm going to go feet first. That way if I run into snakes down in there, I'll get bit on the foot. Yeah. All right, so let's, I'm going to stick this one in my pocket for safety. And I'll take this one along.
I'm going to get this gold pan off of here.
And we'll head back inside. Looking for snakes. Here, Snakey. You know, if these rocks come off here, that's not a very big opening. Here's liable to close up on you. Hello? Snakes? Oh, man, this is a perfect place for a snake den. You coming, Jerry?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Go, pee, ba, 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 go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Mesa, Arizona.
Several of the dry washers were interested in that.
A couple of nice detectors.
It was a good deal, or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona, February 4th and 5th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Tesoro is the name in high-quality, user-friendly metal detectors, founded by the Gifford family in 1980. Once you know our product, it's easy to understand why we lead the way in the detector business. We use the finest materials, specialize in lightweight designs, employ the latest in manufacturing technology, and offer the industry's finest customer service. Then there's our lifetime warranty. Together, these qualities give you Tesoro, the name that means treasure.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Fort Worth, Texas.
I think they're pretty good prices.
You can go in very inexpensively and become a prospector.
It's a great selection. I'm looking for nuggets mostly.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, February 11th and 12th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Let's go, girls.
Go places this weekend at 50% off. Rent Friday to Monday, 50% off. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Naturally, you're able to get the big nuggets out of your gold pan, but what about all that small stuff? If you're like most prospectors, you have pounds and pounds of black sand concentrates just waiting to be stripped of their fine gold. Here's the quick and easy way of getting the job done. Tom and Perry's Deluxe Cleanup Kit. It includes the one and only water-driven mini sluice, our tried and true 14-inch Gold Catcher Gold Pan, a 10-inch concentrate pan, 2 gold snuffer bottles, a 20-mesh concentrate sifter, and a black sands magnet to lift the magnetite away from all your fine gold. Plus, you'll receive the must-have mini cleanup kit, which consists of a vial, gold tweezers, and a pouch for small pickers and fine gold. But here's the best part, the all-important step-by-step black sands video to lead you through the simple process of working your fine gold out of your black sands. This product will easily pay for itself in a few uses. It's the fun way to prospect right in your own backyard. Call now to get your Deluxe Cleanup Kit, $39.95 plus shipping and handling while supplies last.
From the editors of In Fisherman magazine comes a television show that voyages to the best fishing spots in North America, covering every species of game fish. Catch In Fisherman Critical Concepts Thursday at 8:30 p.m. right here on the Outdoor Channel.
Go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go, 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 pee, ba, 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 go.
All right, well, we're inside. Y'all ready to go caving? Let's go. See what we can see. You gotta be careful here around the front entrance, because this is where the dead stuff like to fall down in here and get trapped. Hope we don't find no dead miner down in here. Oh. Ooh, now it's starting to look real cavey, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we came for. Yeah, this is fractured out of here and busted out from years. That piece right there looks like she's ready to drop right now. Boy, it sure is big in here, huh? Opens right up.
It's a big room.
Should I go that way or this way? You remembering where we're going in here, Jerry, so we can find our way back out when we turn around and go the other way?
Well, I thought you was.
You might want to... I don't think I got any change. I haven't been doing too good at the poker game lately. Maybe drop a few coins to pick up on the way out. Getting tight back here.
Hard head area.
Oh.
Head knockers.
Oh. I'm going up here. Watch these rocks. They're slippery because they're wet.
There must be a lot of water coming down.
Waved. Here. All wavy.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Whole pillar, huh?
I don't know if I'm going to go up or I'm going to go down. I don't think I want to... Whoa!
I just wonder who did what?
That hurt. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I skinned myself up. Well, I washed in a new battery anyways. You know how many watches I've busted like that? This looks like there was water down in here at one time. Sitting in here. Looks kind of fractured. I don't see any gravel, though. Getting kind of tight. Look at that. That is one big angel wing. That is beautiful up in there. Look at that. That is a specimen beyond specimens right there. You don't see that. Oh, man, look how it's all connected at the bottom. Going up. Ooh, there's a few places where it's fractured right in there. So translucent. That is Mother Nature's beauty right there, what she can do over the years and years. That is beautiful. You can see this stuff right here. See this little sparkly stuff here, and the stuff that's just growing like worms in there. That is some pretty amazing stuff. You know, they got stuff back inside these caves that are like undiscovered. There's caves and stuff that are, look at that, look at those crystalline formations in there growing upwards. And you know, they talk about the rainforest having all kinds of undiscovered medicine in there. This place, I'll bet you, has got 10 times as much as the rainforest underneath here. And there is so much of the earth that's undiscovered. Look at this here formations. Look at the water droplet right there. This is absolutely amazing. Spectacular.
Look at this. They go all the way down.
You can see how translucent this stuff is. Man, you put some kind of light in there, man, that is beautiful.
Halloween's approaching.
Where is the monster of the rock? The cave creature that lives in the rock. Trying to see if there's any quartz stringers in here. I don't see any, but it's hard to distinguish them between all that calcite. Boy, look at the size of that right there. Is that beautiful? Oh, can you see that? It's absolutely beautiful. This cave has just beautiful specimens in it. Boy, you need to be careful. You can see all the crystals up that way. Beautiful. See here where the two formations have grown together, right here. Oh, well, I just don't want to fall and break my leg or bust my head open this far underground. Oh. Okay. So this just comes back up here. And then, God, I gotta keep going, man. I can't take it, man. I gotta see, I can't. I gotta just take a look here and just look around this corner and keep going down in here. I can't take it, I gotta go. I gotta take a look. This is candy for the eyes. Oh, man. And does it ever keep going and going? You see the standing water right here. The little stuff growing on top of it, those are little crystals growing on top in there. They're just sitting there. Boy, that water's clear. Those crystals growing on top. I bet you that's good drinking water right there. Beautiful. We busted into this cave now 30 years ago. This is just so beautiful. It's just one spectacular formation after another back in here. And this just goes way back there. I don't know how far we're back in here, but I've lost Jerry. I hope I could still find him. But I need to start thinking about finding my way back out of here. This has been a real treat. I'm happy to have you along. I think we could just go for miles and miles back in here, but we got to give up the ghost sooner or later. And I tell you what, I already know it's going to be dark when we get out of here and start heading back down the trail to get back to camp. It's going to be an adventure in itself. But this has just been spectacular. I wish it wasn't so hard to get to this place so we could spend more time in here. And I didn't bring my sleeping bag, or I'd just sleep back in here and spend the night and get up the next morning when the daylight's out there and truck on through this thing and keep discovering and discovering. But this is one big cave. Sure is beautiful. Hey, Jerry. I lost you back there.
Well, I found this little rock pile, and I figured I was going to get some.
You found some gravel.
Some gravel out of here, and see what I can find in here.
What's that? I see yellow everywhere.
Hey, look at that.
I see yellow gold everywhere. We got a nice pan full of gravel.
Yep.
We'll take that back to camp and pan it out, see what kind of color we get. And we got a long ways to go to get back to camp. Long ways. Till the moon set the pearly peaks gleaming, and the stars tumbled out neck and crop, and I thought I surely must be dreaming with a piece of the world piled on top.
It's kind of rough on an old man.
Go, 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 pee, bye, 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 go, 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 pee, bye, bye,
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Mesa, Arizona.
Several of the dry washers were interested in that.
A couple of nice detectors.
It was a good deal, or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona, February 4th and 5th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
More bows are sold under the PSE name than any other brand in the world. And the PSE Pro Series is the best value in archery. Now you can save over $100 with this Diablo package. You can also get great package savings on the PSE Triton and Bruin Pro Series packages too. They're all the best deals in archery today, exclusively at PSE Pro Shop.
What are you setting your sights on? And when you see it, will you be ready? Just pick up the phone, dial 1-800-645-ARMY, and you'll get this free DVD. You'll learn about the hundreds of opportunities the Army can offer you. Skills, education, healthcare. Call 1-800-645-ARMY, and you'll also get this free boonie hat. Whatever you're looking for, the Army can help you find it.
It's time to get ready for the GPA Golden Treasure Show in Fort Worth, Texas.
I think they're pretty good prices.
You can go in very inexpensively and become a prospector.
It's a great selection. I'm looking for nuggets mostly.
That's right. You also have a chance to win major prizes. The first 100 paid attendees receive a free vial of gold, and admission is only $5. That's the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, February 11th and 12th. Mark your calendar and come down for bargains, prizes, and more.
Go, 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 pee, bye, 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 go, 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 pee, bye, 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 go.
Think there's anything in there, Jerry?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it won't take as long to find out.
All right, why don't you go ahead and pan that stuff out. Be interested to see if there's any color at all in there. Let me put a little light on it for you here. Well, I'm lucky I didn't twist an ankle or something coming down that hillside in the dark.
Tell you what, it was kind of tough.
I think I could have stayed in there, though, quite a bit longer inside that cave.
Yeah. Ought to get a earlier start next time.
Yeah, well, I want to remind everybody there at home to, best thing is just to stay out of those places to go underground. But if you do go back in there, which I don't recommend to anybody, be mindful of Mother Nature and be careful and have a little bit of respect out there for it. It's sure a lot of nature's beauty out there. Boy, look at that, all that crystal in there.
Well, that's
it's
neat.
Quartz. Let me see if I can illuminate that. Yeah, that's pretty.
Is that pieces of quartz or? piece
Looks
of
like
crystal.
quartz. Neat stuff. How long you been prospecting, Jerry?
Since 94.
Yeah?
94, I got started. In 95, I was in, well, actually 94, I was here.
You a member of the Gold Prospectors Association?
LDMA, lifetime member.
You enjoyed it?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, you're the one that signed the paper. Whenever we was here in 94.
Well, that's the association, club that we got, the Gold Prospectors Association, and we'd like to float you an invitation to join up. You get one of these gold pans when you sign up. You get that claims guide book, which gives you all kinds of different places to go out prospecting, and just gives you a good excuse to get out there. There's hundreds of locations all across the United States. They give you videos, subscription to a magazine, or ball cap, and all kinds of stuff with the membership. It's sure a lot of fun, and it's a pretty inexpensive way to have a lot of fun out there. You know, you go skiing for a weekend, you'll spend just as much as you do on one of those specials that we sell, or if you go out golfing one time, you'll spend just about as much. So I highly recommend, if you're thinking about getting into prospecting, to go ahead and give them a call on that 800 number and sign up to the Gold Prospectors Association. It's a good stand-up organization. Getting down to the nitty-gritty there, Jerry.
Oh, getting down to the good stuff here. We'll see you in a second here.
Yeah. Seeing a little black sand in there. Boy, those pans work good.
Oh, yeah. Even for somebody like me that can't pan very good.
You're doing a good job.
Well, look at the black sand in there.
Doesn't look like we're rich, huh?
No. I got black sand, but I got skunked, I think.
Yeah, I think those old-timers, they found gold in there.
Look at mica.
Oh, yeah,
mica. Piece of mica, yeah.
Yeah, glittering in there.
Well, Rex.
Well, we didn't find that underwater river of gold underneath there, but I guess we'll keep looking, huh?
Oh, yeah. You can't give up.
Keep looking.
Boy, there's a lot of black sand.
Yeah. Well, folks, we didn't come up with a whole lot of gold on today's show, but, you know, it's a lot of fun getting out there looking for it.
Got some pretty rocks.
Yeah, got some pretty rocks. So, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again on another one of these Gold Fever shows.
I got maps put out by the BLM and the U.S. Forestry. Topographical and God knows what elucidated me. From Colorado to Canada, Alaska to Mexico. You can forward my mail care up the Gold Rush Trail. Gold fever's got me on the go. Go, go, go,
Man,
go,
you
go,
should see the way these
ba, 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 go, 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 ba, ba, ba. Up the Yukon and Northwest Territory, taking apple for the yellow gold ribbons. From the El Paso Mountains to the Mother Lode, checking out the stories I've been told. Down to Australia where the nuggets grow. So big you throw the small ones back. Check that creek, you can find me. Just don't sneak up behind me. God, Gold Fever's got me. Jack. There's no easy vaccination for your baby hind. The bite is fatal, but to all else you're blind. You can put out the lights when the gold back bites, 'cause Gold Fever's got me.
I'm lost in the cave.
You might
Maybe
be.
we'll find somebody else's bones back in here that was here before us. Got lost. I'm lost in the cave. I'm lost in the cave.
Tuesday night from 8 till midnight. Friends at Cabela's travel around the world for exciting outdoor adventures. And you can experience their entertaining and informative hunting and fishing pursuits by watching Cabela's Outfitter Journal. So, kick back in your favorite chair and tune in every Sunday at 5 p.m. right here on the Outdoor Channel.
You have to have good line when you're fishing the type of cover that we're fishing today. Even so, you're still going to miss a few. Don't get so frustrated. It's just going to happen.
Oh. Lost. Oh. I keep losing them.
Oh, that's
Man, and I'm setting the hook out of that thing like you wouldn't believe. I had that fish. Oh. Now I'm setting the hook. Okay, so we're going to go to school. Let me ask you a question. If I feel something, would I be foolish to set the hook immediately? Or do I need to wait for that little pull or tap?
The only time that I ever wait to feel the fish after I think I've got a bite is on a topwater, or say like a Z2 or some type of soft jerk bait. The rest of the time, as soon as I feel a hit or anything funny, it doesn't even have to be a tap-tap.
Right.
If I feel something different, I'm swinging.
Okay.
My theory is it doesn't cost anything to set that hook, and a lot of times your better fish give those very subtle bites that aren't the tap-tap. And when you sit there and wait to feel something, a lot of times they're going to drop.
When we started out this morning, when we went from the jig to the tubes, I actually had the wrong type of rod. I had too much of a limber rod. So Chad already had his rig set up, and he was just nailing with his rod set up. He had a good, strong backbone rod, and he was just nailing every fish. Well, I actually switched over to the tube, but I had the limber rod on, and I kept missing and missing and missing my fish. I couldn't get a good hook set. So when I went to the big, beefy backbone rod, I started nailing them. The key to it, and make sure you got the right rod for the right application.
Anytime you're fishing for fish in real heavy cover, you got to have a strong line. Even in clear water like we were fishing today, I was throwing 25-pound line in water that I could see 8 to 10 foot down in. When you're fishing heavy cover, I think you can get away with that. Whereas if you're fishing out in open water, a lot of times you have to downsize that line. But anytime you get in that real heavy cover, even if the water's clear, go with that heavy line, because if you don't, you're going to lose a lot of fish in there because of breaking it off.
You would?
I wouldn't cut you off. I would front end you.
Yeah, yeah. Not intentionally anyway. Huh?
I had a fish. I think, look at that
Oh, here's a bite right here. Think. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Ah, get him out of there. I think that's the fish.
There you go. And you know what?
Looked at my spinnerbait.
I seen you throw that spinnerbait in there, and I seen your fish swim off, but you know what? He wasn't as big as, he was not as big as mine. Mine was.
See, I got distracted. When that wind kicked up, I got this funny feeling saying, you know, this looks like a great spot to throw a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Had I not done that,
now
I probably would have caught that fish.
Now look, see where that hook is? Right in the nose.
That is perfect.
Now, would that give me any sign of what these fish are really doing?
That's
because you mentioned that earlier.
That's exactly where you want to hook them.
Yeah.
You're going to land, if you've got fish hooked like that, you're going to land the majority of them. They can't hardly throw it there.
Yeah.
And a lot of catching, hooking fish like that has a lot to do with the way you rig the bait.
Yeah.
And we've both got our baits rigged almost identically. We got a little bit, we're each using a little bit different weight. The way I like to do it, I guess they call it Tex-posed from when you're in Texas.
Yeah.
Just a regular Texas style.
And it did the trick.
Oh man, that's perfect.
Did the trick.
Okay,
but I'm learning from you.
Well, I'm still learning. Every day on the water is a learning experience.
Wow.
Don't let clear water and bright sun keep you from getting bites when you face those conditions. Make adjustments, get up tight to the cover, and pull them out of there. The next time you want to learn something about hunting and fishing, watch us right here at Academy Outdoors. Next time you need something, come see me at my house, Academy.
Academy Outdoors, hunting and fishing at its finest, has been brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Strike King, #1 in fishing lures. Mustad, get your fish on. And by Rapala, your best shot at a world record.
It is a battle few have seen firsthand. Two foes, lions of unbelievable strength, buffaloes with unbreakable courage, locked in a war where the rules don't apply and where you never know who will survive. Relentless Enemies premieres Sunday at 9 on the National Geographic Channel. Available on Channel 276.
Attention inventors, isn't now the time to see if you can make money with your invention idea? To find out how, call 877-INVENT-1 or visit our website, inventorshelpline.com, to receive your free Inventor's Starter Kit. We'll assist you with patents, trademarks, royalties, and more. Is your idea a winner? Visit our website, inventorshelpline.com, or call 877-INVENT-1 for your free Inventor's Starter Kit. It's your opportunity. Call 877-INVENT-1 now.
Thursday night means another episode of Jack Brittingham's World of Hunting. We'll join two very special hunters who, while battling life-threatening illness, still find time to pursue their dream of hunting elk and whitetail. Don't miss this heartwarming episode.
Every notable body of water, from Montauk, Long Island to Homer, Alaska, has its angling icons. The distinguished men and women who've spent most of their waking lives learning everything one could ever know about a particular stretch of water. The timing, tackle, and techniques required for success. On the Sandy River, an extremely popular tributary of the mighty Columbia River bordering the city limits of Portland, Oregon, the icon of these parts is professional guide Jack Glass. It's late June, and the spring run of Chinook salmon is nearing the tail end. While most anglers have put their rods away, Jack Glass is on the water every day and finding it well worth the effort. The Sandy River originates from snowmelt of the Reed and Sandy glaciers, located high on the west slope of Mount Hood.
Hey, Jack. Hey, Carmen. How we doing? Very good. Glad to have you come join me on the Sandy. You bet. Jump on in. Let's go get them. Let's do it. We got nice weather to start our morning. You bet. Let's go get them. Great day, and water's up a little bit, but we'll see what we can find today. Looks good. I'm excited. We're going to go upriver a little way.
There may only be one other angler that knows the Sandy as well as Jack Glass. With two of the largest rookeries on the West Coast located in nearby Portland, great blue herons spend most daylight hours fishing the maze of local rivers that make up the watershed. It's not unheard of to see great blue herons flying among the downtown skyscrapers of Portland, en route to their favorite fisheries.
Carmen, we're going to back troll. You're going to fish a nice plug, so drop that in. That's the line counter reel by Okuma. Push the button on the line counter, flip the lever, let it go, running out there 80 feet.
80 feet.
Line counters are great. They make it real nice. This here, I'm going to use lead and back bounce with this Lamiglass rod. I got a graphite handle rod. It makes it real sensitive on an Okuma reel. And I'm using braided line on this rod too, so it's real sensitive. You're using a 20-pound strand monofilament line, so there's some stretch. And when you're fishing a plug, I really believe that some stretch is an important thing to have. When that rod goes down, that rod will go down, and we're going to give it a 1, 2, 3, pick it up and just start reeling.
No
that
hook
works
set?
the best. No hook set. We catch a lot more fish by handling it that way.
This fish just laid this plug out here, right off the back.
Like a good one, Carmen.
Oh yeah. This is on that M2, the new and improved, newly designed M2 flatfish. I saw him come up and roll, and it looked like it was better than 20-pound fish. There's a leader.
You can ease up your
Coming
drag
around.
now.
Yeah, he's
Gonna
nice.
roll it up there on us. Nice fish.
Oh, there you go. They moved that tail, and they're just
mass and meat.
Look at that.
It's just one big muscle. They're just a muscle.
He decided he didn't like to hang around. Things were not going his way.
He's had better days.
He's had better days.
Oh, man. How far is he on the line counter?
50 feet out.
50 feet. So
I
play,
forgot about
play
that.
by play.
I have fished line counters before, and I love that. You know exactly where they are.